This commitment from the state can't continue unless we see commensurate changes with our partners here in Oakland.
Governor Newsom keeping the CHP in Oakland to help crack down on crime. He says things have to change. The police policy he's calling an extreme outlier in California.
We need to recognize when police can't stop individuals for committing crime, that those criminals get away with more and more crime.
We're showing up to a scene of a burglary, and if the suspect is fleeing, unfortunately, we can't go after him. We have to sit there and watch him.
Now with a big leadership shakeup at City Hall, we hear from a longtime Oakland bishop about the change he wants to see in the town.
I know the city. I've been here 79 years. I know the time when we didn't even use a key to go into our door. We didn't have no reason to lock it because crime was never like it is today.
This is CBS News Bay Area with Elizabeth Cook.
I'm Devin Feely in for Liz today. Governor Newsom is extending the CHP surge operation in Oakland, but it comes with a major caveat. He's pressuring the city to change a controversial policy that restricts police chases. We're going to take a closer look at that debate over the city's public safety strategy and hear from a longtime community leader about how the change in leadership in Oakland is opening up doors for reform. And now to Oakland, where the governor is calling on the city to revise its policy on police chases or risk losing CHP support. The policy only allows police chases for violent crimes or suspects with guns, and Newsom called it an extreme outlier in California. He held a news conference this morning in Oakland to announce that he's extending the CHP surge operation in the city, targeting retail theft and vehicle theft and sideshows. His office has touted the partnership that's led to 1,400 arrests, $13 million in stolen goods being recovered this year. But Newsom says that the help isn't open-ended and suggested the state might withdraw CHP support if the city doesn't change its chase policy.
You could be drunk. You can run a red light. You can come close to side-swiping a school bus during the morning hours right in front of a police officer. And the pursuit policy in Oakland says we cannot pursue that suspect.
Now, the policy does not apply to the CHP. The CHP deputy commissioner criticized the city's no chase policy for letting too many criminals escape.
So far this year, we as an agency have been involved in over 500 pursuits in the city of Oakland, but within that, we've arrested 155 felons. If those agencies had gone after those individuals, they wouldn't have been captured, and we'd have 155 more felons out on the street victimizing their community.
Two city council members said the police chief is drafting a new policy to present to the police commission, which declined to make changes earlier this year. Now, Newsom urged the commission to call a special session to address that issue. We did reach out to the police commission chair for comment. In a statement, he stated in part, quote, "We have seen the significant and positive impacts that have resulted in Oakland Police Department's coordination with the CHP and understand that there is still significant work to be done in regards to OPD's pursuit policy and practices. We give our commitment to respond to the call for action and to do our part to work with city leadership." Just yesterday, the CHP was involved in a high-speed chase in Oakland that ended with a crash near Fruitvale Avenue. A stolen Chevy Blazer hit another car, narrowly missed an AC Transit bus, and then the suspects, they fled on foot before CHP officers caught them. The car was reported stolen in San Francisco. Thankfully, no injuries were reported. Crime has been a concern for business owners in Oakland. Now, this video shows suspects driving through the storefront of the Lucky 7 cigarettes back in October and ransacking the place. As Katie Nielsen reports, it's just one example of the kind of crimes that some say people are getting away with because of the city's police pursuit policy.
Take a look at this surveillance video from the early morning break-in at Lucky 7 Cigarettes, where around 3 o'clock this morning, thieves used a car to ram through not one, but two sets of security gates, breaking down the first gate, then pulling the car forward to ram through the second gate, with a group of thieves converging on the store as soon as the gates were down, stealing dozens of cartons of cigarettes worth tens of thousands of dollars.
Because if you don't see a pattern...
The owner, Juan Trin, said she got an alert from the security company and watched the whole thing on her phone.
I saw that someone applied, hit the car, go to my store. So my hand feels stuck, look like that because I'm very scared.
She and her husband have owned the shop for 26 years, and in the past 3 years, they've spent more than $100,000 repairing damage from previous break-ins and installing a second set of security gates. And now they have to do it all over again.
So all these crime is out of control.
Jim Wynn is with the Unity Council as part of the rapid response team to help business owners after something like this happens.
I think it's lawlessness. I think lack of conscience. I just don't see how you're going to deter these guys,
According to the Oakland Police Officers Association, the union that represents the officers, the reason more criminals are getting more brazen, using stolen vehicles to smash into stores, is because of a lack of police staffing, as well as the Oakland Police Department's pursuit policy.
We're showing up to a scene of a burglary, and if the suspect is fleeing, unfortunately, we can't go after him. We have to sit there and watch him, and it's embarrassing.
According to Wee Wynn, the president of the POA, the current policy only allows Oakland police to chase suspects if they are involved in a violent offense or if they're known to have a gun. He says that's part of why criminals feel like they can get away with almost anything.
People out from outside this county, outside this city, know that they can come to Oakland or Alameda County and commit crime. And there's no accountability.
Many business owners feel the only way they can protect their shops is to take matters into their own hands. Like this restaurant and deli that was recently broken into by thieves, you guessed it, using a stolen car. Owners put up huge concrete blocks along the sidewalk to prevent it from happening again. And a few blocks over at Quality Tech Automotive, thieves stole all the equipment out of the shop back in September using a stolen car to ram through the shop door. So the owner installed 2 massive steel barriers they can pull across the shop doors at night.
Well, now if they have to use like a bulldozer to take that thing out, we have to live like an animal here to protect ourselves.
Back at Lucky 7, Juan doesn't know if they can stay in business after this latest break-in, between the cost of the stolen products as well as the cost of repairs.
Is this what we want Oakland to be? Small business is the engine of the economy.
And still ahead, we'll continue our conversation on the call for change in Oakland. We hear from a longtime Oakland bishop standing behind the governor's push to change the police pursuit policy. Welcome back. We're diving into the debate over the public safety in Oakland. Governor Newsom today is warning that CHP support may not continue if Oakland doesn't revise its policy restricting police changes. Joining me now is Bishop Bob Jackson of Acts Full Gospel Church. You were there with the governor this morning. What is your opinion about this call for a change to the city's policy regarding police chases?
Well, I heard the governor, and we all heard him today at the press conference, and he's pretty adamant about his stand, and he's saying he's getting complaints from his men, the California Highway Patrol, who's come in to help Oakland, and they're doing a real good job with helping our police department, which is well understaffed. And so we need their help, we need their assistance to make our city safe for the elderly, for the children, for all of the citizens that we have, and for our businesses. So without their support, without their help, especially at this time, our city's going to be in real bad shape, even worse than what it already is. So the governor was making a plea that, except that pursuit policy is changed, that he would be pulling the California Highway Patrol out of Oakland, which at this particular time, it would be a disaster for him to do that as far as the public safety is concerned.
So Oakland, it really isn't alone in this entirely. There's a lot of communities that have, in essence, said, okay, well, when do we want to call off a chase potentially? Because we have heard stories about, either police or the fleeing suspects crashing into someone or something like that. So there has to be this balancing act. If they tweak the policy, what would you like to see in it?
Well, I'd like to see them, at least making an effort to let the people know that the police are there and they will do everything they can to apprehend suspects that are doing unlawful things in the city. And that I think the contest is between the California Highway Patrol and our Oakland police officers, because I think they're out there risking their lives, chasing different people that are caught up into crime, and they're putting their lives on the line, and Oakland police kind of sitting back, allowing them to do the work that they feel like they should be doing. So I think that's what I got out of the meeting today. It's kind of controversial concerning how the California Highway Patrol is feeling about doing what they think at least the city of Oakland police officers ought to be doing, similar things that they're doing to try to help themselves and help their city. And they don't seem to have that equality there with law enforcement. That's what I got out of it.
All right, so Bishop Bob, always enjoy the conversation. A small pivot. This November, Oakland voters, they really demanded change. They ousted the mayor, they ousted the district attorney. And where some see chaos, others see an opportunity. What changes do you think the city really needs to make in this critical moment?
Well, I think first of all, they need to take another look at that Measure X that Jerry Brown brought in when he was the mayor of Oakland. I think he wanted to take over the control of the city and run the city. We had a city manager that was doing a tremendous job, Robert Bobb, and before him, we had another city manager, Henry Gardner, that was doing a tremendous job. You know, as small as our city is, 430,000 people, we had 3 different major athletic teams in the city of Oakland. And for our size, that was just phenomenal. But that wasn't because we had a strong Measure X mayor. It was because we had great city managers. I don't think they ever really got credit for all the great jobs they were doing, but the city managers were people that were versed on what city management was all about. They were educated on what needed to happen. We have a $2 billion budget here, and you have a mayor that just came in because of ranked choice voting. They don't know anything about managing the city. They don't know anything about running the city, and it's been a constant decline with all of the mayors since Governor Brown, Jerry Brown was here, because of that Measure X. So I think we need to revisit that Measure X measure that was passed and get rid of it and go back to the city manager, getting a qualified city manager that's educated on how to run the city and what to do with $2 billion. You look at $2 billion with all the potholes and all the things we have. Where's the money going? You'd be asking. Where police don't have it. We don't have enough police people, personnel. We don't have enough 911 people to answer the 911 calls. What is going on with $2 billion? And I just think it's just bad management. And we need to take another look at the people that's managing the city. And now with the mayor gone, Mayor Shane Towers gone, it's an opportunity to get qualified people that we need in order to run the city the way it needs to be ran, so we can make our city great again.
All right, Bishop Jackson, thank you so much for your time, your service, and for the conversation today. Thank you so much. All right, so we want to take a closer look at some of the numbers when it comes to the progress with public safety in Oakland. According to the police department's latest data, robberies are down 24% compared to this time last year. Burglaries are down 55%. Vehicle thefts are down 28%. Assaults down 15%. The latest data also shows police responded to 76 homicides so far this year. While that is still a lot, it's down 35% from the same time last year. Prior to being recalled, former Mayor Shang Tao attributed the drop in homicides to the ceasefire strategy that she re-implemented when taking office. Interim Mayor Nikki Fortunato Bass released a statement following today's announcement, thanking the governor for extending the CHP partnership, saying in part that over the past year, Oakland has dramatically reduced crime in all categories with an overall reduction of 34%. CHP's sustained presence in Oakland allows OPD to focus resources on responding to calls for service and addressing violent crime through our intelligence-based ceasefire strategy.
Thanks for watching. You can always get all the latest headlines and weather over on Pix Plus. And remember to like and click the button on the bottom left of your screen to subscribe for the biggest Bay Area news.